Shalom, this is Ephraim Buchwald, and I want to tell you about a very interesting verse in the Bible. The Bible says, Shomer P'ta'im Hashem, that God watches over those people who are unable to watch over themselves. Actually, the word peti could mean a fool or an idiot. So God watches over the fools. And you know, that has happened to me many times in my life. You know, part of my responsibilities is to teach and to lecture, etc., but also I have to raise funds. So when we first started NJOP, I was hoping that I would be able to entice a very, very, very famous and successful Wall Street legend to get involved in helping to sponsor NJOP. And I invited him and his wife to our house on Shabbat. The problem was that that same Shabbat was the only Shabbat that another couple was coming to my house, and that was, they were the parents of a young man who had become religious, and the parents were very, very upset that the kids had become religious. So first of all, I had told the first couple to come to the beginning service early, and they came late, and they were stuck outside the room. They couldn't even get in. And then they came to the house, and the second couple had not arrived. The son was there. And we made Kiddush, and the doorbell rang. The father came in, and the son said to the father, "Would you like to make Kiddush?" And he says, "Bug off." Then the mother came in, and instead of saying hello, she said to me, "You Jew-napped my son. You Jew-napped my son." Well, I picked myself off the floor, and one young man who was there, one of the guests, who was a graduate of Princeton and law school, he said, "You know, ma'am, Rabbi Buchwald didn't Jew-nap your son any more than he Jew-napped me or the other people around the table. Basically, he just gave us the information that we can make an intelligent choice of whether we want to be observant or not." Well, it went on and on and on, and she wouldn't let out. And I thought, oh my God, this is a disaster. When I called this very generous philanthropist's son-in-law, I said, "Well, what happened? It was a disaster, right?" He says he couldn't stop speaking about it. It turned out to be that he was enthralled by the whole thing. He's usually monosyllabic, but he couldn't stop speaking about it. So here's a good example of Shomer P'ta'im Hashem. God watches over the fools. You never know what's going to happen. What you think is going to be a disaster turns into a delight. And hopefully all your disasters will turn into very favorable things because God is watching over us.